Okay, I hope we're rolling. Yes. I like logos in my videos. Okay. Well, I see peak. That's it. Will it work? Oh, there is peak in there. The crowd was at its peak, but it wasn't crowded enough to make me uncomfortable. And I try to be like rather conservative with the copying pasting into Google Translate. I'll try to make it so that I'll only do that when the offline translator is very clearly saying something that's just wrong. The train seemed to have just run off, or left, as soon as we arrived at the station. Wait, does that make sense? I'm already doubting that line. Because, like, it left just as we arrived? That's a weird thing to say. I guess so. I forgot what the context is. I don't know what's going on in this scene. It's almost 10 minutes till the next train. Okay, so we missed the train, basically. We set up camp on a bench in the corner of the platform.
小読さんっていいよな。大人って感じがするじゃん。
Wait, so the scene is with Shin? So, did we leave with Shin from that scene we had with Koyomi? Is that what's going on? I'll just guess. Sayumi-san sure is nice, isn't she? Sayumi-san is Koyomi. That's the last name, I think. Doesn't she feel like an adult? Let's see here. Oh, is that O? Otonate? That might mean adult, but it might be borrowed from something else besides English. Ika. Is something about it being good? Is that good? I'm just being noisy. But I'm pretty childish. But I think she is pretty childish, right? Even though she is in the economics department, she can't calculate.
ほほー、それは、よーくご存知なことで。
So sore is just that, right? That close to whoever you're speaking to. So sore wa is that is the topic, that is the topic, basically. The rest of it, I don't know. I'll hit the translate button. Ho ho. I'm well aware of that. So I guess... Why is he well aware of that? Let me see what Google Translate has to say about this one. That sounds kind of weird. Actually, I'm making a mistake with the change. Things like that happen often, so I feel like doing business. Oh, she makes mistakes with the change. Something like that. Okay, we don't need to translate do we? What? It's bugging me. Or I'm stuck. which are very different things that they get from the same word. Different
そん
translators
な
get
こ
from
と
the
言っ
same
て
word.
結構お前暦さんに入れ込んじゃってるじゃん。
You say that, but you're pretty into Sayumi-san, aren't you? Why? I'm just paying the price for securing food with my body. Basically, I'm doing the work in return for the favor of reserving food for me.
そうですか。
Is that so? It's basically that. That's right. First of all, she's too old. I'm 17. And Sayomi-san is a... Okay. Hatachi. Hatachida. Google offline translators translating that to wasp. What is a hatachi? Google translates literally just making it hatachi. I guess that's like, I don't know, a woman, a grown woman. No, that would work. That's always like awkward. Oh, really, a lot younger than you, it can be awkward too, of course.
そうか。暦さんは20歳ね。詳しいね。
Okay, so ka. Okay, so then he repeat. So, Sayomi-san is a hatachi, isn't she? But what's the last part? I don't get that slang. You sure know a lot. Okay. What the hell? This isn't funny.
まあ気にすんなって。じゃあ電車来たから俺帰るわ。じゃあな。
My dad would actually do something like this to me. Like what Sheen, conversation like what Sheen's having. It sucks. Well, don't worry about it. Or it's nothing. Well, the train's here, so I'm going home. See ya. Jana, which is see ya. And then he says, Jana, which is like, see ya. Sheen hopped onto the train, basking in Ka's endless clamor. So where is it? Ka is some sort of misreading of a katakana into a kanji, but I don't... Huh. Maybe it's the train. Hurled as much humor as he could and boarded the train. Okay, so she laughed or something. Making humor or something like that as he boarded the train. Time passes. Did you get on the same train or different trains? I don't know. I presume it's different trains because maybe the conversation ends. Still, I wonder if Sayumi-san won't be able to come again once Auntie's hip is healed. We're going to get a run away with me situation. This is the last time we're going to see you. I have to leave. I have to go go on deployment. I have to go to my next... I really don't know what that song is about, but... And I don't really want to reference the song because I don't know anything about the band who made it, and therefore... And they make some songs that maybe just don't have anything to do with them. And I can't separate art from the artist. I don't exist that way. It sounded like someone going on... like a person in the military being moved from one base to the next. And because of that, there's a girl he probably would not ever be able to ever see again unless she came with him. Stuff from the radio. Anyway, that's a little sad. I sat down on my chair and gazed out the window. The lights of the city shone spiritually, probably as brightly, right? Or maybe, oh, it's because the kanji got misread. Okay, shined in some way that is represented by this kanji. Wait a second, which one is it? Not this one. Not this one. No, that's fine. So where'd the weird one come from? Ah, this kanji. Okay. Which got which got turned into this somehow. Ready to go out at any moment. What? What does Google Translate have to say about that? And are about to disappear. I guess, I mean, I never think of the lights of the city disappearing at night because corporate America always wastes so much energy lighting office buildings at night. Sayumi-san, huh? Do you have a boyfriend? So this is the first time I noticed that the main character is actually like doing this, where he's actually considering starting to start a relationship with one of the other girls. Like with Kaoru, who apparently is really good looking, he just kind of like, he's almost like not trying, he's like not going for it. Like, he's not demonstrating behavior that would suggest that. It's more like she's actually going after him. And it's really difficult to do something like sleep in class if you're doing it and not study and do so while you're sitting next to a girl you really like. That takes some apathy, some severe apathy, right? Minamo, he is trying to be, this is probably like a big result of like different authors writing different characters' routes, right? Like Minamo, they make it so that he is really, looks forward to seeing her and is really nice to her, wants to be very good friends with her, and talks to her in this very weirdly awkward romantic way. But it's written still like he just likes her like a friend, right? Yue, again, he just kind of sees her like a friend, and is kind of is kind of almost a friend to me. Like, it's almost like she clings on to him, and he's just trying to like you're so annoying. Ayaka's probably dead, but you can tell that he just really loves Ayaka. But she's probably dead. And Shion, he's like, that all we've got for him and Shion is just he's really embarrassed because he accidentally fell asleep on her lap. So given all that, this is the first time he's like, does she have a boyfriend? Right. It's the first time this is happening. Significant. It's a milestone. Why am I thinking about that? Because you're a boy and that's what you think, right? There are certain things that you want by your nature. I'm sure she'll be fine. She's a Hitachi, whatever that means. She's a college girl. So, why am I thinking about that? Gotta go for it. What happens when you're here? Okay, let's say what Google Translate says. Since I was there, what will happen? It has nothing to do with me, does it? That's right. I have nothing to do with it. I stopped thinking and fell asleep.
ともちゃん、あさってからだね、朝刊。
This train noise makes editing the audio so difficult. I have to knock it down specifically by 10 dB because it drowns out my voice otherwise. I might turn it off in the settings before the next part. But in order to do that, I have to turn off all of the sound effects. Which would be a shame if they got a new cool sound effect at some point in the game. Okay, what's she saying? Something about midterms, right? Tomo-chan, the day after tomorrow, which I believe is pronounced asate. No, yeah, asate is midterms, right? Yeah, honestly, it's depressing.
そうだよね。普段から勉強してないし。
I did really bad on my Japanese midterm, by the way. But you would probably be able to tell. I just did a very lazy episode of my life. You're right. I don't usually study. Or, you don't usually study, one or the other. I don't know if she's accusing or admitting. I think she would study. I don't think I've done enough to say it's just a smile. Which doesn't make any sense in this context. Yeah, I don't really do that much. So this is being more honest now. Perhaps because they're both in the same position, we can read each other's moves. Or thoughts. That's all we can do in the end. At least she thinks about midterms. And she kind of has nothing better to do. You're out there like hanging out with girls and stuff. She isn't doing anything. Well, I guess that's how much I'll remember over the past 2 days.
そっか。
I see. Tomoya says Sonamonga, which is that is how it is.
じゃあさ、ともちゃん。今日学校終わったら映画見に行こうよ。
Well then, Tomo-chan, let's go see a movie after school today, okay? So, eiga is movie. You probably can't hear any of this, any of the things that Yue is saying, because she gets drowned out by the train noise. And I usually, if you're familiar with how I do Let's Plays, make the voice acting much louder than the sound effects, so it's easier to edit the audio afterwards. But I have to make everything lowest when I do this, otherwise the switch out audio output will just deafen me. It's just, I don't know how to deal with that part of the setup. So because everything has to be low, both the voice and the sound effects have to be low, so they're on the same level, so the train drowns out Yue. Anyway, she said the word eiga, that's movie. What are you doing all of a sudden? No, are you listening to me? Okay, what is good? That's the sizing of that is kind of funny. So, are you really listening to what I am saying?
でも
Okay.
いいでしょ。行こうよ、映画。それにともちゃん、時にはサボるっていうのも大事なことだって前に言ってたじゃない。
Demo E. So, but it's nice, Desha. So, well, I'll have to translate on it. It's fine, isn't it? Yeah, as we expect. Let's go to a movie. And Tomo-chan said before, it's important to slack off. I'll accept that. But it's sometimes, but now isn't that time at all. Also, I don't slack off by going seeing movies. I slack off by playing video games in Japanese. Besides, in movies, it's like watching a couple of people who's tired of talking about pretentious stuff to kill time. Let's see what that actually is. Is that what movies are like in Japan? Besides, movies are the kind of things people watch to kill time when they're tired of couples and fancy stories. Or when they're not tired? I don't know. I guess. You may very well know that somehow, for some reason, and this is only in my most recent part of my life, I really just don't really like movies. I used to like them when I was a kid for some reason, but nowadays I just kind of, I've gotten conditioned by video games to want to have to interact with the thing. And the movie, it just happens, and, it is what it is. The acting is never convincing. The story is never convincing. It's always compressed, made to fit. It's a mistake for us to go to a movie in the first place.
誤解しないでよ。ゆえだって別にそんなつもりで誘ったわけじゃないもん。
Don't get the wrong idea. It's not like Yue smiled because she wanted to. What? Yue didn't invite you with that intention. With the intention of killing time?
ああ、見たかった映画がたまたま男女ペアで女の子のチケット代がタダになるっていうシステムになってたからそれで行っただけだもん。
It's just that the movie I wanted to watch happened to have a system that said, if you go in pairs, you'll get a free ticket for girls. So I just said it. Okay. I get it. It's a buy one, get one free, but... Because the movie I wanted to see happened to have a system that said if you go with as a pair with a girl, the girl gets a free ticket. Is it a chick flick? As they say? So a girl asks you out so that you still pay for the ticket, and she gets a free one. Given, if she just went alone, she'd still have to pay for one ticket. So you don't end up paying for any fewer tickets. All you're doing is just conning the guy into paying the ticket for you, right? If she intended to pay, then she is actually inviting him because she wants him there, because she'd be paying the same amount regardless. I listen to you, I laugh for now, but my gaze is still cold.
一人分だと1500円だから割り勘にすれば750円で済むじゃない？ね、すっごくお得でしょ？
Wait, so it is half... Wait, that's like a quarter price. So she's saying that it's half price in total if you take two people? It's 1,500 yen for one person, right? Ichisen gohyaku, right? But if you split the bill, it only costs 750 yen each, right? Hey, isn't that a huge deal? But you have to pay 750 yen when you otherwise wouldn't. Isn't it a good deal that she'll pay for half my ticket? You can just pay for half my ticket anyway. To watch a movie you didn't want to see. So that's Nana Hyaku. Yeah, Nana Hyaku Goju is 750. In is yen, of course. That means that the other woman will be free to enter. As far as I'm concerned, it's probably a romantic love story. Or a B-rag horror movie otherwise. Question. So, B-list horror. Crazy love story or a B-list horror movie. The woman gets free admission. Unfortunately, I'm not very interested in that kind of thing. Or rather, I don't like it. I also don't want to spend Nana Hyaku Goju in. I waved my hand dismissively and gave her the no sign. Which is a Japanese-specific nonverbal. But UI doesn't seem to care about my attitude. She's like, I can make this guy do what I want because I've done it so many times in my life. You're wrong, you're wrong. So is it Lord of the Rings? I swung my lightly open palm to the right near my mouth. In other words, it doesn't seem to be what I suggested. Okay, I really want to turn this down just simply because it might interfere with an event with a different girl. So, what's the title? What type is it? I would go for what type is it? What kind of movie is it? Dona, right? Is that what this is? Shua Doi. No, I don't see Dona. Okay. Like what type it is, I would say that is Dona Eiga desu ka? But they didn't use that, so I don't know how I guess there's multiple ways to say the same thing. I wonder what kind of movie I should tell you. Yui doesn't know much about the movie. But you want to go see it, though. That paradox, right? Spoilers, but like, why would you want to go see it if you didn't know much about it? I tilt my head and ponder for a moment. She seems to hesitate over what genre to make for it to fall into. Story of Uchikoshi's media. Then what's the title? Okay, Taitoru. Okay, so just title. So, Taitoru ka, Taitoru da, so title. Yes, the title. Okay, so it ends with samurai. What's it start with? No. What does Google Translate have to say? The same thing. Except it's always slightly different. It's the Hirowari instead of the Himimarori. Oh, but there's like... Is that repeated characters? No. Groups dishwashing. Washing the dishes. I thought it was the samurai, not dishwashing. I thought that's what she said, but... What's that supposed to mean? Judging by the title, it looks like she's exhausted. Let's see what Google Translate has to say about that. Did I close that? Did I close my Google Translate? Yes, I did. Because that's silly of me. Okay, now I got it back. I think. Waiting. My internet being slow. Okay. Seems it's going to... So, judging from the title, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a letdown. So maybe it is the dishwasher, moving about dishwashing. The tutorial on 3-sink dishwashing from an state of Arizona standardized test I took in like middle school. But I can more or less guess from the title it's probably a bit of a wow, that's a offline translator. That's a pretty big word you got there. I don't know what it means. Merhepentic, child-oriented story. That's about it, right? Okay, I need to Google. I learned a new word today. Cap locks. Merhepentic. For Merhepentic. That's not a word. Okay then. Okay, what's Google Translate have to say? Idea it's probably a fairy tale like, and definitely a story for children. Isn't that what this is?
じゃないと思うよ。だってサブタイトルは肝玉母ちゃん100日奮闘聞いたもん。
The thing is, adults like Disney movies, and they're very fairy tale-like usually. Except The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't think it's a fairy tale. After all, the subtitle is Tomono-chan's 100 Days of Fighting. What kind of subtitle is that? I'm a little worried about how to tie it to the title. Is this like, is that where the whole dishwashing thing is? Is that is actually, like, what they mean is what it feels like to get a C-section? But I was able to read it perfectly. In other words, it's like a family documentary with lots of children. Basically, it's a heartwarming home drama, right? What does that have to do with 100 Days of... I'm so confused right now. Maybe that's the point. Maybe we're supposed to be confused.
ドラマ。ねえ、ある意味そうなのかもしれないけど。
Home drama. Okay, nah. So home drama was spelled out in katakana. Maybe it's a bit emotional, but, find out it's a medical drama. Even after all this, she still hasn't given me a clear answer. She still hasn't changed the way she thinks. Come on, Google Translate. I have a feeling that Uchikoshi really didn't need to decide what this movie had to be about. He just had to write something for this conversation. So he just wrote whatever. You don't need to decide what you don't need to decide as an author, right? That's just too much effort. Even with all this said, there still isn't a clear answer. The way I think hasn't changed. Okay. Seriously, you're as vague as ever. In that case, why don't you try explaining what's going on? You should be able to tell that much, right? She nodded slowly as if she didn't agree with me.
ある組織と組織が対立してたね。それで拳銃とかでバンバンバンバン撃ち合って戦うの。血とかもドピャーって出て。
Well, there's an organization that's opposed to a certain organization. They fight each other with handguns and stuff. Blood and stuff comes rushing out of their veins. I don't know what bon means, but it's probably gushing blood. Gushing blood, I suppose. Is that the 100 Days of the Kawari Group's dishwashing, fighting, mother? I don't know. Something. Basically, like, that's right, you know. That's right, isn't it? So it's a shoot 'em up. Yue's words are clearly slower than I imagined. With the scent of fat middle-aged woman holding a gun in both hands and firing a heartily in rapid succession, carrying a Kimi drinkler. What? That's the sentence I just read. In my mind, I had an image of a fat middle-aged woman with perm hair, holding a baby in her back, clutching a gun in both hands, and fighting furiously. At the same time, the conclusion that came to mind... Yay, no more train noise. Yue-san. And he actually says san. Maybe that's what I think. You're talking about Commander Hyuga Aoi. Blood-washing conflict record, bullets in Chaka, 100 Days War, aren't you? That might have been the Japanese title. That movie is purely domestic. Hey, so let's go! I have no idea where that is so connected to, but I can't do anything that isn't good. It's inconvenient for me to go. Oh, let's see what the, I have no idea where that because comes from, but anything that's no good is no good. It's not convenient for me to go. Well then, tomorrow. It's only gonna get worse by the second. Normally that would happen after the test was over. Why can't you do it after the midterm? Let's go. I mean, Tomo-chan, you like Yakuza movies, don't you? Well, I don't hate them. Okay, so warari means bad. Janai is not bad. It's not bad, is what she's basically saying. I means... What? What does I mean? Hey. That's no reason to go. Okay, so... Let's go, 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 go. Okay, yeah. I don't know if it's because she's just being stubborn or because she's so persistent, but I'm impressed. She's a stubborn woman who doesn't even move when she decides to do something. In a way, maybe I should learn from her example. At least wait until after the midterms are over.
え、本当に本当に言ってくれるの？
So, really? We're gonna go? Yep. I can read that at least. Well, it's not a bad idea to watch a domestic movie for the first time in a while. I've heard that the quality of Japanese movies has improved significantly recently.
やったー。じゃあ中間終わってからね。絶対だよ。忘れちゃダメだよ。もう約束したからね。
Well, then after the midterms are over, okay? Absolutely. Don't forget. Number 2. Probably not right, but whatever. Okay, you made a promise, okay? Okay. Wakata. He's like, I get it. I understand. I know. Well, at least you negotiated it till after the midterms. Good
もし
job.
約束破ったら
Good job, Protag. If you break your promise, I will break you. Don't say that. Yue smiles and pinches my upper and lower lips with her 5 fingers.
口を縫い付けちゃうからね。
I'm gonna get this mouth of yours tangled up, okay? And he goes, moo, 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 moo. Unable to open my mouth, I continue mumbling to myself. Yoi confirmed and nodded yes, and then let go. When we parted, the pad of her pinky brushed against my lips, and a slightly ticklish sensation ran down my neck. You got ASMR'd?
変わらないかな。
I hope the exam's in soon. The sunlight reflected off her thin, puckered eyelashes and glittered. Eyelashes? Oh yeah, reflected off of her thin eyelashes, making them sparkle. But I think she'd be so... To think she'd be so easy to see a Yakuza movie. If I remember correctly, until just recently, I didn't even look at the... She didn't even look at a manly movie that sounded like that because she hated it. Right, there's something going on here, Tomoya. As I thought, this is proof that Yue is gradually growing, question mark? Yeah, in a way. That said, I don't think that's going in a good direction at all. Phew, no more train noise. The homeroom teacher hasn't arrived yet. So, I presume it's the classroom is lively. Yes, the classroom is suddenly becoming lively, partly because the homeroom teacher hasn't arrived yet. It was a common natural sight, also. I head for my seat as well.
あ、おはよう。
Good morning, is what that means. That's that big, bombastic good morning that Takeshi says in Ever 17. When everybody finds Tsugumi in front of the central control room and they just spent the night in the decompression chamber and Takeshi is writing all over his face. Like, Ohio! Right. Otoa-san, standing next to me, called out to me as if she'd been waiting for me to show up. He says, "Ohayo back." I gave her an honest response to her greeting.
昨日はごめんね。思ったよりこの学校って授業が進んでるから、つい説明の時間も長引いちゃって。
Sorry about yesterday. This school has a lot more classes than I expected, so it took me a long time to explain. Oh, I have to do that. Like, this counts for this, that counts for that thing. Yeah, I don't really mind.
で、今日こそはちゃんと教えてもらおうと思ってるんだけど、都合悪いかな？
So I'm thinking of having you teach me today. Is it convenient? Not really. I have nothing better to do all year round, so I don't mind at all. Basically, it's like, do you mind more than... He's responding to the question as if it was, do you mind, instead of, is it convenient? Either way, I know what it means. So I got the meaning
じゃあ
out.
今日こそは勉強しようよ。
So then, today... Okay, so then let's study today. Something to do with today? Yeah, okay, today I'll teach you properly.
それじゃそういうことで。あ、先生来たからまた後で。
Well, then that's that. Oh, the teacher's here, so I'll see you later. Our homeroom teacher is definitely standing at the front entrance. Yare, yare. Man, today's the start of another day. What? Wait a second. Yeah, of course it is. There's probably some mistranslation, but I don't really care about that line. But today was the weekend. You mean tomorrow is the weekend? You mean today is the start of the weekend? So classes would be over in half a day. Considering I'd be studying with Otoa after school, I couldn't help but hope that class would end soon. Well then, please make sure, this is the homeroom teacher, or whatever teacher, you don't take any supplementary exams for next week's test. What? What kind of rule is it that you can't take practice tests? Oh, for next week's test, please make sure you don't have to take a makeup test, because the makeup test will be harder than the original test. And if for some reason that's not against some rule. Leaving those warning words behind, the homeroom teacher quickly ended homeroom. Just like I don't think I've said this before, but when I was in college, I took a class called Mathematical and Computational Physics 2. And I somehow, this is literally what happened, but it's so dumb and hard to admit. When I looked at the final exam schedule, I forgot, but only when specifically looking at when that particular exam was, for that class, that I forgot that the calendar started on Sunday in the left instead of Monday. And so the test was on Monday, but I thought it was on Tuesday. I literally made that mistake of all mistakes. Even though I've seen that calendar every day for 3 years or so at that point. I somehow still made that mistake with that particular test. It's like, oh, it's the second day of the week. That's Tuesday. Second day of the week's Monday. So I walk in Tuesday and there's no one there. And then I realize my mistake and email the professor and say, I missed my exam, I think. I think I read the calendar wrong and I missed the final exam. Is there anything I can do? And the professor says, oh yeah, just come in Friday. So I come in Friday and he gives me a test from previous years. He can't give me the test that everyone else just took because I could have gotten the answers from them. I could have an unfair advantage. I could have gotten something from them. So it was a different test than what everybody else took, but it wasn't necessarily harder. If you're curious what I got on it, I got 100%. And if you're curious if I studied or not, no, I didn't at all. That's like indirectly telling her to be hardworking. Or you mean beyond indirectly saying to actually be there? Oh, it's saying gambate kudasai or whatever in a roundabout way. But at the very least, not a single student in this class should give in to such silent pressure. Let us all stand up and not study. Crunch. It's just ko. So, the after-school clamor begins as usual. Testo. Before the test, the last class was over for the time being. And starting next week, it was finally time for the first regular test of the second semester. It's really the second semester? You would think it would be the first, because it's like October. But there is a 2 there. There's no point in panicking now. It is what it is. Well, we can study on the weekend. More importantly, let's think about how to use today's limited time. Now then, what should I do? Wait, is there a choice here? Wait, I have an appointment with Otowa-san. Oh, maybe there would be a choice if you didn't have this appointment with Otowa-san. We finished cleaning the class, and Otowa and I were the only ones left. Or basically everyone, the classroom cleared out, is probably what it's trying to say. And Otowa-san and I were the only ones left. Otowa-san was receiving printouts and the like in the staff room again today, but I had plenty of time today, so I decided to just sit back and wait. Then perhaps because today was the weekend, the teacher wanted to go home earlier, so Otawa-san came back to the classroom surprisingly smoothly. Once I'm ready, I'm waiting for Otowa-san to pack the printouts into her bag, but...
そういえば、三上くんって何が得意なの？
This is going to take a complete another left turn. By the way, what are you good at, Mikami-kun? Yeah, so you know how I wanted to make an appointment with you to study math? Well, about that, I was just trying to make sure you would actually do something that was the most likely to encourage you to actually show up. I actually have a different reason for this meeting. Something by left turn, but maybe not. What are you good at? Well, this protagonist appears to be good at history. So, because he was good at history, he was good at ancient texts, which is related to history, right? But he's not necessarily good at languages, because he's not that good at English, I presume. It's not subjects in school. As far as actual, things, no, this guy's not good at anything. He's a protag. All he's good at is getting girls, apparently. By just existing. Otawa-san finished closing her bag and suddenly asked me something like that. If I had to say, it's Japanese.
そうなんだ。奇遇だね。私もそうなんだよ。
I see, what a coincidence. I feel the same way. But I don't know why we're both good at the same subject.
確かにね。でも、これで少しは苦手な教科の方に時間が回せるんじゃない？
You're right, but with this, we should be able to pass the time on the subjects we're not good at, right? Sone, that's true. Sore moso dana. Okay, that's true. Even if we were both good at the same subject, it wouldn't do us any good to study together like this. Even if. So, what's the point you're saying? It's not an even if statement, though. It's probably just if. But just like Otowa-san said, all we had to do was pass on subjects we both didn't like. So what are you bad at, Otowa-san?
数学
What is sogaku? Math.
どうしたの？
What is it? Or what is wrong? Isn't that exactly how it is?
だって数字とか計算するのって細かい作業じゃない？
But isn't calculating numbers a little bit of detailed work?
私どうにもそういう作業って苦手なのよね。
But you're in high school, though. Everything's, multiplying and adding. You don't have to do that again. You deal with that again and take linear algebra. And that class is not the type of algebra that you learn in high school. I just can't handle that kind of work. Least squares optimization problems where you have to do terrible, nasty matrix multiply-ish things. I see. I think I can kind of understand that opinion. So we're two girls so far who are bad at math in different ways. Minamo's probably also bad at math. Yue is the kind of person who would be bad at math. Ayaka is probably amazing at math. Or was. I don't think like calculating things and figuring them out either.
で、三上くんは何が苦手なの？
So, what are you bad at, Mikami-kun? I'm the worst at math too. Not physics, math.
え？
Eh? Uh-huh. Well, I thought she was expecting that. Why do we two decide to study together? I can't help but think that we're both hopeless. Well, that's fine, but where should we go?
ああ、そうだね。どうしようか。
Alright, what should we do? What about... Otowa-san no Uchiwa? Is that what that is? Yeah, no mistake, okay. Otowa-san's house.
そういうことは普通自分の家から言うものでしょ？
I mean, yeah, I've done study things at girls' houses before. Of course, there are multiple girls. Like, 2 girls and 1 guy kind of thing. Isn't that usually something you say about your own house? Yeah, it's like, why not at my house? You don't volunteer the other person's house. And he goes, yeah, but then you'd be alone. My parents aren't home. So you'd be alone with a dude in my house. And that's kind of awkward. Then, will you come to my house?
行かない。
Me come. So it's. I'm not going. Well, you said that's what I was supposed to ask. You're telling me to be clear again. Oh, I'm telling you to be clear again. Well, I'm supposed to volunteer your house. Well, what about my house? Nope. I thought she'd say something like this anyway, so I twisted it. Huh? In the end, the words I'll say next are the same.
とりあえず図書室にでも行こうよ。
Anyway, let's go to the library. It can't be helped. Let's do that.
じゃあ行こうよ。
Well, then let's go. New background? Unless it's all CG. Otomo-san stood up and I followed suit holding my bag as well. No, it's a background. Okay. As usual, the space was quiet and gave off a mysterious atmosphere. There's an extra ko picked up by the OCR. There's no here. That is this classroom. Which I presume classroom referring to the library. I wanted to see if there was anyone who would go to a place like this, but I decided not to for now.
相変わらず静かだよね、ここ。
This place is as quiet as ever, isn't it? Yeah. Now we can study openly.
図書室では静かにしてください。
Please be quiet in the library. Sound of her voice turned around to the lending counter. So, we do not get a CG of Karu. We get a CG of Shion. That's a twist. I see Futami-san looking at me, leaving her half-read book behind.
あ、二見さんって図書委員なんだ。
Oh, you're on the library committee, Futami-san.
はい。
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm making you, what? I'm making you a diary. Okay, so this one is an insertion, so can I get rid of it? No, whoops. That was bad. I'm being so shy, so could you spare me this opportunity? Huh. Opportunity to study, I guess is what he's trying to
わかり
say.
ました。
Which is understood. Yes, got it. Little victories. Not knowing if she understood or not, she started reading again. Whoops. I can see her head a little, so she's probably rereading it. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Well, why is her head swaying? Moving back and forth. Why is her head moving back and forth?
奥に机があることだし、そこに行こうよ。
There's a desk on the palanquin, so let's go there. Ah. This time we confirmed each other in quiet voices, then gently moved towards the whatever the structure they're moving towards. So we're just gonna skip? I'm so tired.
お疲れさん。今日はありがとね。
Good work. Thanks for today. Yeah. I should be the one thanking you for teaching me.
うん。
Mm. Walking side by side down the hallway, dyed scarlet by the setting sun. Of course, there's no sign of anyone around, so it's just the two of us. Grover Washington enters to the chat. Two people's worth of footsteps echoed softly in the cold hallway.
でも、二見さんも大変だね。
But it must be tough for you too, Futami-san. Soda no. You're right. Soda na. I asked Futami-san if she wanted to go home with me, but she turned me down because she said she still had work to do. From her point of view, it's a job worth doing. I couldn't force her to join me.
とにかく、あさってからの試験は頑張らないとね。
I just went to the next line. Accident. Okay, X. Now I have to disturb everything to try to get these things. Dude. Okay. What was it? Anyway, I'll have to work hard on my exams for the day after tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, we both have to do our best. Just as we were taking our shoes out of our shoe lockers and swearing to each other, or doing the whole encouragement thing. Are Mikami-kun and Otoa-san there? Is this the teacher? Looks like the teacher. It's not sensei. But it's some sort of teacher-like person. I could hear a voice I'd heard somewhere before. This voice.
あ、先生。
Sensei. Yeah, it is the teacher's. One reason why it's confusing is that this is sensei. I know this is sensei because I've seen it. The place where the name is didn't have those kanji. It had different. So maybe it's unknown character or something. I looked ahead of the voice and saw my homeroom teacher peeking at me from the entrance of the staff room. This is the homeroom teacher who apparently does all the housework but is still here after school this late. Sorry, but can you help me out? Into the homeroom teacher's route we go. I wonder what she's going to say all of a sudden. Are we going to figure out she wears a wig? Or he? Or... If you really feel bad, don't call out to me. Huh? Okay, what does Google Translate have to say about that? What, are you saying you're completely unhelpful, Tomo-chan? If you really think it's bad, don't say anything. Okay. That was bad timing. タイミング。
三上くん、私行こうか？
Mikami-kun, should I go? Hotawa-san volunteered to help out her homeroom teacher, and she got all worked up. Huh? Oh, just, there's no worked up. It's just, she volunteers to help the homeroom teacher. But there's no way I wouldn't say something if I made a girl say something like this. What? If a girl says something like this, there's no way I wouldn't say anything. So he's gonna do what he's gonna say. I would get the... No, it's fine. You go home first, Otoa-san. I'll take care of this.
でも
But... The homeroom teacher added further, as if to nail down the fall of her tongue that lay ahead of her. What? Added something more, as to nail down what she had just said. And what she says is... I wonder if that's like a name you can understand. If anything, it's my job. I'd be happier if it were Mikami-kun. Huh. Well, I wonder why. Look, it looks like she's asking for me too. Why does she think it's bad for me? It's a trap. She looks at me with an uncharacteristic expression. Uncharacteristic? So like poker face? Well, it looks like you'll be late at this rate. You can really go home. I don't feel like I can accept it myself. Otoa-san reluctantly walked away, leaving behind a shape that seems to have been... A shape that seems to have been overheard? Appearance that she reluctantly listened. Though once I confirmed that she was disappearing through the entrance, I resisted the urge to call it a real pain and headed to the staff room. Sorry, Mikami-kun. Or Mikami. Let's clap our hands together with ramen. Well, it does start with ramen. The sentence starts with ramen. So... It's not too crazy, but what does that have to do with ramen? What? Yeah, so Google Translate says too. The teacher says, Bakamon. Don't make a deal with food. What? Don't be traded for food. Whatever, what does that mean? He goes, hey. Let's make a deal with ramen. I'll do this for ramen. He's like, baka. After that, I was forced to do a job that really made me want to treat her to something. You mean... It made me really want to be treated to... It made me really want to be treated to something. Oh. As an aside, what I got was cup ramen. Oh, so he did get cup ramen. If it's merely cup ramen, that is. Had the studying I done with Otawa-san paid off? Question. It isn't actually a question, there's a ka at the end. When I got home and sat at my desk, my studies progressed smoothly. The only problem is that I don't have the stamina to do physical labor on the way home. Thanks to that, I fell asleep at my desk before I knew it that day. Ouch. Totemo yoku. So, very often Sunday. So, something happens very often on Sunday. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's a very sunny Sunday. Okay. Sharp sunlight enters through the curtain. It's actually cotton spelled out with katakana. That bundle of light illuminates my face. That reminds me. So there is a YouTube channel, The Car Care Nut, which I really like because I'm a big Toyota fanboy. Or Toyota. The guy's name was Toyota. As I've probably said before, ironically, us Americans pronounce it Toyota anyway, even though he thought that changing it from Toyota to Toyota would make it easier for foreigners to pronounce the name. But he had a JDM car, which basically named for a Japanese market Toyota in his shop that was imported. And it had Japanese labels for the various buttons that perform various functions in the car. And something on the for the American market Toyota vehicles, you don't really see that. You just see symbols. You don't see very much text. However, my car has a second start as text. So you do see some text. But these try to use symbols as much as possible. And I didn't know what any of them meant, but I was able to read using katakana that one of them was rear curtain, or rear curtain. So, the first time I've seen curtain in katakana. That bundle of light illuminates my face. Don't get skin cancer now. After another 10 minutes or so, this light should go somewhere. Yes. This problem with mornings. I turn over in my sleep. By this time, the light hits my face from a different direction. At this rate, I won't be able to continue sleeping. Trying to figure out in the morning, light doesn't go directly into my room, but it does go where my bed is, but it does go kind of. It's not very good in this regard. Like, I'd rather sleep on the other side of the house, yes. Anyway. Because on weekends and stuff, I just like to sleep for like 14 hours straight or whatever. Guess I'll just have to wake up. Let's start tomorrow. Maybe I'll study. It's 10 o'clock right now, so why don't we go until 7 tomorrow morning? I can believe it. So you're going to pull an all-nighter, basically. Wow. I can study for 21 hours. Nichu chikan. Yeah, buddy! I can't study for 21 hours straight. I can barely study for 15 minutes. But I have to watch TV for 30 minutes starting at 6:30. So maybe it's just a little over 20 hours. So 20 and a half hours. Well, either way, it doesn't change the fact that I can study a lot. Wonderful. It is truly exhilarating. Well, you're weird, protag, but I like this better than your usual sleep protag. I will say, though, studying continuously like this, it works much less well than doing it in little bits along the way. Because you get to kind of sleep in between sessions, and that locks each bit of knowledge in as you go. I have to start studying as fast as possible. And not just get stuck on YouTube. Alright then, where should we start? If I remember correctly, the first shot tomorrow was a living thing. You mean biology? First test to... What's... First... Okay, it should be the first hour tomorrow will be something that gets mistranslated to creature. I'm guessing it's probably bio. Three prime to 5 prime, sir. Let's start with biology. Name the 4 types of RNA. Messenger RNA, transfer RNA, ribosomal RNA, and I forget. Yeah. There is RNA in proteins, but I don't know if there's any there is in any other proteins besides the ones that make up the ribosomes. Now then, where is the biology textbook? Oh no, you lost it. Did Kaoru steal it? Gasagone, Gasagone. Gongasa. Huh? Gaban, no, it is not in my bag. Gaban is bag, and then... Gaban is bag, and then this is like in the middle. I presume it's Nakani. Gaban no Nakani wa... Textbook. Not. Or is not. It's not on the desk either. So, desk, it's sukue, right? Sukue no ue ni mo, not on, whatever that is, not. It's not on the bookshelf either. Oh, I forgot bookshelf. It's Hongaku, is it Hongaku? Hongaku Nemo, whatever. There is no way it was buried in the rotting soil of the flower pot by the window. Well, study for what you can. Why is the offline translator frozen? Okay, what does Google Translate have to say about this? Hey, you're lying, right? Stop making boring jokes. This is where the deeply deep came from in that one thing, which is it takes too long to explain, so keep going. As I thought, I didn't see it. Not only that, but all the textbooks, notebooks, workbooks, and more besides math and English that I brought home yesterday to focus on studying. Anyway, almost all the teaching materials related to tomorrow's test subjects don't exist in this room at all. Which means I left them in the classroom? Or you left them in the library? I can't study like this. You don't have a paso cone? You don't have a computer? And there... Oh, Karu has your books. Huh? What are you doing at such an important time? Skoshi. I picked up the phone a little irritated. Hi. Mikami desu kedo. Which I presume is this is Mikami. Yes, I'm Mikami. Moshi Moshi. Hello? Hi, which means yes. Do you know who it is? Calling me without asking. Do you know if I'm lamenting it? It's, let me try to get... Do you know if I'm complaining when you call me without permission? It's rude to say that. How does this person have your number? That said, it's human nature to become interested and deduce this and that. Didn't let it slip. So I followed her lead, probably it is a her, and thought, who the hell was that voice again? Well, I presume if you left all your textbooks with someone, if I remember correctly, this is... Okay, there's actually two answers here. So first we have UA. Now, UA wouldn't call like that, where she like, guess who it's calling? She was like, hey, Tomoya, Tomo-chan, right? She would start like that, right? Because we would presume that UA would call him a lot, right? Doing a guess who game is kind of weird. Tomoya-san makes sense because she doesn't usually call him. We don't even know why she wouldn't have his phone number. But anyway, he probably gave her, when they were on the roof talking, they probably exchanged phone numbers, denwa bongo, as they call them, as well as email addresses. And I just kind of forgot that the phone numbers were exchanged. So I guess on the roof, maybe she got his phone number. She could definitely have his books, and two, would act like this, where it's guess who's calling, right? She has a personality that would be sort of like that. Sheen, we would have recognized, we would play a game where we would guess who it is, and it would be Sheen, right? They would put this suspense on me if it was Sheen. So, no. And then, who's this? Who is... It's not Shion. So, the thing is, I would actually expect some Shion, because she was in the library, right? So, if you were to leave your books behind in the library by accident, she might, like, notice that, right? So, that's why, you know... But there's two problems. One is that's not Shion. She's not on the list. And two, she doesn't have her phone number. So, Kiyomi doesn't have her phone number. Minamba doesn't have her phone number. And Ayaka is dead. So, I'm going to guess Karu, which is I'm forgetting the name already. Tomoya's himself. Otawa-san. There we go. Otawa-san. Otawa-san? I like how they didn't give me hints there, because that would have made that really not fun. They shouldn't give me hints ever, though. And response with this, Where? What? I don't think that translates well, whatever that is. What's there? What? So then he goes, Yue Garo? Is that Yue?
あ、なんでわかったの？
Oh, it is Yue. Okay. Ah, how did you know? I didn't. I guessed wrong at first. What do you mean? Well, we've known each other for a long time.
そっか。
Ah, I see. So, what do you want?
ああ、そうそう。あのね、ゆえ、教室に英語の教科書を忘れてきちゃって。それで今から学校に取りに行かなきゃならないんだけど。
Ah, that's right. Hey, Yue, you forgot your English textbooks in the classroom, so I had to go to school to get it, but so you did. So Yue's like, I left my English textbook in the classroom, so I had to go to school to get it. He's like, what? You did too?
それでね、きっとともちゃんのことだから、ゆえみたいに何か置き忘れてきちゃってるんじゃないかななんて思ったの。
But since it's Tomo-chan we're talking about, I thought you might have forgotten to take your textbook with you like Yue-chan did. Okay?
何にも言わないとこ見ると図星でしょ。
Looking at you saying nothing, I guess I hit the nail on the head, didn't I? Bullseye.
やっぱり。
I knew it. So, while you're at it, can you get mine too? Is that okay?
え？なんでゆえがともちゃんの忘れ物取ってこなきゃならないのよ。
Why don't you have to go get Tomo-chan something that you forgot? Am I wrong?
違うよ。もしともちゃんも何か忘れてるんだとしたら、一緒に取りに行かないかなと思って、それで電話したんだもん。
No, if Tomo-chan forgot something, I thought maybe we could go get it together. So I called you. It's so funny. You forgot your books too, didn't you? All together, huh? Well, I'm going to do it because I need to get those textbooks because I need to study. I need to get into the route where I do good on the test. It's a pain. Well, whatever. I'm going to do well, whatever. And let's go.
ほいじゃあ15分後に駅の改札に集合ね。
Okay, let's meet up at the station ticket gate in 15 minutes, okay? Yeah, understood.
じゃあね。
See ya. Ah. Oops. I made a promise, but the thought of having to go out of my way to go to school on Sunday suddenly made me feel darling. Yeah, I hate it when I feel darling, don't you? Nervous, I guess, might be better. You always gonna get you in some sort of trouble. Well, I promise I have to go. Ah. By the way,
さっきからずっとため息ばっかだね。
if I tried to go to the school on Sunday in the United States, the school would be locked. So there'd be nothing I could do. But you don't just leave textbooks at school in high school. You do that in elementary school, but you're not going to do that in high school. So you don't really worry about that. You go, don't you have lockers? I never did. The high schools I went to, I didn't get lockers. I didn't get any lockers. Sometimes, some of them there are, but not for me. You've been sighing nonstop, haven't you? Yeah, it's the most boring, this intense sense of futility that I have to go to school on a day when I don't need to go to school. More importantly, why do you look so happy? It's much more mysterious that way.
それは
Because I guessed right. That's... Do you like school that much?
好きじゃないよ。
I don't like it. Then what? Did something good happen?
当たらずしも遠からずって感じかな。
I guess it's not too far off the mark. I can't help but be jealous. That said, I didn't pry any further. I don't think there's any benefit in listening to Yue talk about happiness right now. Besides, if that conversation was about something ridiculously enviable, it was inevitable that she would get even more envious. I would get even more envious of the, happiness she was in now. Okay. Of course, it's not like I don't mind at all. Or it is not like I mind, one or the other. We were able to get along surprisingly quickly at school. Probably were able to get to school surprisingly quickly. The fact that we were standing in a place like this before we knew it was an accurate expression without exaggeration. That doesn't make sense, but I don't care. I'll keep going. There is no one in the schoolyard. There is no one in the classroom. An empty hallway. Just the two of us. School really is cold on a day off. It's like a motorized toy with its battery drained. It feels like some kind of important core has been stolen, just like a national meeting. As we wriggled in this cold, walled space, felt like we were a foreign element that was in the way. We listened to our own sticky sounds as we made our way through the silent corridor. After entering the classroom, I head to my locker and Yui heads to her seat. So I had the pocket desks in Japan, apparently, like in elementary school. Okay. Click, click. So, gotcha kon. Then, when I opened the locker, it was packed with a large number of books. Your backpack's going to be heavy. I took out all of them and placed them on the desk of the person closest to me. Next, I took out all the content of my desk too and put it down earlier. Several haphazardly bent printouts protruded from between the books. Oh, like my desk in elementary school. I pulled out the already discolored printouts, crumpled them into a ball, and threw them into the trash. popping sound, my shots hit the goal.
ああ、すごいすごい。
Oh, that's amazing. Yui, who had been watching it from her seat, tapped the English textbook in her hand lightly against the chair and clapped in like applause. I don't think there's anything to be moved about, but on the inside, I'm pretty happy. Now then, let's move on.
ずらかるって別にやましいことしてるわけじゃないんだから。
It's not like I'm doing anything wrong. Well, that's true.
ところでともちゃん。
Tokoro means place. Day is a particle. So, try to... Oh, I can't put my cursor on this. Anyway, Tokoro, it's Tokoro de Tomo-chan question. Tokoro means place. Day is a particle it occurs at this place, or it occurs by this means. Which you can kind of think of as kind of similar, like if you go to some place using a car, you're like in the car, right? So you're like at the car. So one of those two. Then Tomo-chan is, of course, his name, or his nickname. So it's at this place, Tomo-chan? Question? I guess they're going it with, by the way, Tomo-chan. This is the translation they're going for.
この山積みされた本だけど、どうやって持って帰るつもり？
About this pile of books. How do you plan to take them?
バッグとか持ってきてないよね。
You didn't bring a bag or anything, did you? I didn't bring any. Well, you just do like me and, underarm the stack and get a very, like a long isometric bicep workout. Sometimes you can kind of do a sides thing, but books it's hard because they slide out from under you.
どうするの？どっかから紐かなんか見つけてきて弱く？
What are you gonna do? Find a leash somewhere and tie it up? I thought about it. Is there anything I could use as a replacement for my bag? Your shirt? A green hoodie? A trash can? A cardboard box at the school store? Cardboard box may lead to a scene with a sled that looks like a salmon. So I'm going to go with cardboard box. Whoops. Translated Yue's caller. Yuzuma Makoto. Sounds too much like Akuna Matata. I'll go to the school store, and then I'll go to the empty dump hole. No, wait, I feel like there's something closer to me. I have a flash of inspiration. Or just inspiration! I walk over to the trash can in the corner of the classroom. It was a large, dirty-looking wastebasket made of white plastic. Despite Yoi's surprised, suspicious gaze, I take out the scrap of paper I'd fired earlier from the trash can and shove it into my pocket. There wasn't any other trash in there. It's empty inside. In other words, this Ichimi box was just a box. It's Komi, right? This Komi box was just a box. Or so I told myself. What a convenient box lying here.
まさかゴミ箱抱えて帰るつもりじゃないよね。
Don't tell me, you're not going to carry the trash can home with you, are you? Rather than a question, it was more like a lament born from giving up. You're not going to bring the trash can home with you, are you? The box was extremely car. I think it's supposed to be extremely heavy. And that's what that kanji means from experience. Iro, right? Iro. After a lot of trial and error, I realized that holding it in front of me was the easiest way to dodge it or to carry it. And it is currently in that state.
それで電車に乗るんだよね。
That's why you're taking the trash can, right? Taking the train, right? If you walk home, the sun will set.
恥ずかしくないの？っていうか、ゆえが恥ずかしいよ。
It's not embarrassing. You won't. Something about Shin and Yue. You're not embarrassed, or rather, Yue is embarrassed. Well, you don't have to associate with me. You could pretend. They say if you destroy your mind, the fire will cool down too, right? But in other words, it's embarrassing because you think it's a trash can. But if you think it was just a box, it's nothing.
そうかな。
You think so? Yue gropes around in her uniform pocket as she speaks. Then she pulled out a toy ring made of funya rubber. Whatever that means. A small ring resting on the palm of her hand. There's something like white plastic embedded in the pedestal. What's that supposed to mean? Is it a jewel chocolate?
ジュエルチョコのおまけ。捨てるのもなんだから取っといたの。
What? It's literally jewel chocolate. Wow. Yeah, like you could look at the katakana, it's jewel chocolate. And she said it, of course, she had the voice line as well. Jewel chocolate bonus. I didn't want to throw it away, so I took it. Ah! Well. So, Ninni Nekopyon suggested that Memories Off is fiction in the University Infinity series, but this suggests that it's the same universe. So which is it? There's no point in getting that, is there?
でもともちゃんのその理論によると、こんなのだってダイヤだって思い込めば安っぽいななんて思わなくなるってことでしょ。
But according to Tomo-chan's theory, if you think of this as a diamond, you wouldn't think of it as cheap, right? Ah.
自然と価値があるもののように見えてきちゃうんだよね。
It naturally looks like something valuable, doesn't it?
ほらね。
Whatever that means. Yui smiles and puts the ring on her pinky.
思っただけでその通りになるんだったら、誰も苦労なんかしないもん。
So, is that a hint? If you're right, just thinking about it, no one's going to have a hard time. Or no one. Yui was just staring absentmindedly at the ring as she opened and closed her palms.
思っただけでその通りになるんだったら。
Just thinking about it makes you feel that way. Yui repeats herself as if muttering to herself. There's no point in saying that, is there? This is the only thing I could use nearby. Yeah. I'm going for the rings, kid. She got it, didn't she? She got the ring. I don't know if Yui's gonna get the ring, though. Maybe. Besides, carrying a trash can and riding a train isn't that embarrassing, is it? That's not embarrassing, is it? This is normal. This is fine. That over there? There's a lot of even more outrageous people in the car.
いるいるいるいる。
Iru, 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 Iru. That probably doesn't translate well. Isn't that right? You're here, aren't you? You're here.
かわいいよね。
So kawaii yune, which is cute, isn't it? Kawaii, isn't it? What?
また大丈夫かな。
Maybe I'll hold her again. Maybe I'll hold it, right? It's probably trying to say. Yes? Hi means yes.
わーい。にーにー猫ぴょ
Ni Nekopyon. Oh, it's the same cat. Okay, here's Ni Nekopyon. Both the rapid, we got the jewel chocolate and the Ni Nekopyon in rapid succession. So it is maybe I'll hold her again. It's the cat. I just didn't know what was going on. Yui starts running again as if she can't stand to do anything. What the hell? Dinekuga cat, huh? Still, she's as fat as ever.
ん。あ、なんでそういうこと言うの。これは妊娠してるからだって前にも教えてあげたじゃない。
Why are you saying that? I told you before that this is because she's pregnant. Is the cat gonna give birth at the end? There's gonna be kittens at the end of the story. Anyway, isn't she getting too big? I think she's gotten a lot bigger since the first time we met. Yes, that's how
そ
pregnancy
っか
works.
な。
You get bigger and bigger. Really? You get bigger and bigger until you pop. You know, the meat on her cheeks is drooling, right?
え
Eh? Or on your cheeks? Yoi used her index finger and thumb to pinch the ninja cat, the Nineko cat's cheek.
ほんとだ。
You're right. She seems to have fallen into the pressure point for some reason.
ぷいぷい。ぷいぷい。
Okay, pui 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 pui. As I added that sound effect myself, or she added that sound effect herself, she pinched and released her cheeks with her 2 fingers. Like in the picture. Okay, some more. And then he says pui 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 pui. No. What? Or not. With a smile that looked like it was about to burst. It's like it's seeping into my insides. Pui 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 pui. Apparently, at some point, he ended up teaching her something that surpassed playing pretend. Is the cat the single mom in this? You'll get that if familiar with my Uchikoshi bingo card. Saruto.
あ、そうだ。
I didn't bother translating Saruto for some reason. It'll forever be a mystery what Suruto means. Or Soruto. That's right. Yoi smiled as she suddenly thought of something. She stopped moving her fingers and began to remove the ninja the collar with both hands. I purposely watched her behavior. Freed from the collar, the Neko cat shook its body and stretched once in a way that made its front legs stick out. On the other hand, Yue smoothly pulled out the toy ring she was wearing on her pinky finger and put the collar she had removed on the ring through it. Okay, so just put the collar through the ring. And then put the collar on the cat again.
はい、オッケー。
Yes, okay. Saying that, she tapped her hands on her knees. Could it be a necklace? I'm pretty sure it's a ghost, right? I would go with necklace. Fine. Fine game. Make it so that I don't guess wrong. Fine. Mujanai. Is that some kind of joke? Let's Google Translate say. Sure, that's some kind of fascination, right?
うん。
Hmm. So what's the big deal?
そっか。知らないんだ。 じゃあ教えてあげるね。
I see. So you don't know. Then I'll tell you, okay?
要するにこれは縁結びのおまじないなの。縁と縁をつなげるっていうところから生まれたんだって。
Basically, this is the magic of the total knot. It was born from the connecting circles of circles parts. What? You mean like interlocking circles? Okay, so total knot is more from the idea of connecting circles, right? You can't separate them because they're connected. Interlocking circles. Fun.
でもね、犬の首輪じゃダメなんだよ。猫じゃなきゃ効果がないんだもん。ほら、昔から猫っていうのは霊力の強い動物だとされてるじゃない？
But a collar isn't good enough, you know? It won't have any effect unless it's... Huh. Neko? You know, it's always been said that a cat is an animal with a strong spiritual energy, right? I don't get it, but whatever, continuing. Really?
そうなの。例えば商売繁盛を祈願するときは招き猫を置いたりするでしょう。逆に悪い方の例では化け猫とか猫股とかって昔話も結構たくさんあるよね。
That's right. For example, when you pray for business success, you put a amaneko on it, right? On the other hand, in the case of bad ones, there are quite a few folktales about bad cats of some kind, right? Now that you mention, I guess you're right.
ということで、猫の首輪に輪っかをつけると良縁に恵まれるんだって。
So if you put a ring in a cat's collar, it'll be revered as a good connection. Ho ho.
納得？
Convinced? But Yue, as far as I'm concerned, there's no point in praying for a marriage now, is there? Oh, okay, I get it. So... I get it, okay. I get it, and I also get it. There's no point in praying for a marriage now, is there? You're so clueless, Tomo-chan.
なんで？
What? What is it? After all, we've already been connected. What? Because they are already tied together. Continuing.
誰と？
Who are you with? I don't know who you're asking, but it's probably some male cat. Oh, I'm going to take a guess and think she thought I was just talking about the cat. But she wasn't talking about praying for a marriage for the cat. She was talking about praying for a marriage for herself. And he just doesn't get it.
おつ猫？
Male cat? spiny membered cat. Indeed, if you have a baby, that means you're already married. There's no point in wishing for a better relationship at this stage, is there? But Tomo-chan, cats don't get married.
違うってば、ともちゃん。おまじないはこの子にかけたわけじゃなくて、ゆえにかけたんだよ。
That's not it, Tomo-chan. I didn't call this girl, Google Translate's not helping me. I guess this line will be lost. I can't figure it out. What Google Translate says, that's not it, Tomo-chan. I didn't say I'm a big fan of this girl. I was just trying to make fun of her. But I guess he's trying... I'm going to go to the next line. UA ni? I think probably... my guess would be I wasn't talking about this female cat. I was talking about Yue-san. And then he goes, oh, ha ha ha, okay, so that's how it is. I see. In that case, we'll have to attach about 20 more rings, won't we? So he just takes a dig at her. Muh. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. By the way, don't you mind if that ring isn't a ring?
多分そうだったと思う。だって昔の日本には指輪をはめる習慣なんてなかったもんね。確か古銭とか使ってたような気がするけど。
Yeah, I think so. After all, there wasn't a custom of wearing fingers in Japan in the past. I think they used old coins or something. I see. In that case, saying that, I rummaged through my pant pocket. There must be something that can be used as a substitute for a ring. But when I opened my clenched palm, all I saw were a crumpled printout I took out from the trash can. Well, I guess this is fine. I spread out the rolled up printout and folded it into a long, thin stick. Just like tying a fortune slip to a tree branch at a shrine, I tie it tightly to the ninja collar, or to the cat's collar. The owner of this cat's going to be weirded out by this. I'm counting on you, Nineko. And the cat says, meow! When? In the end, did she just say okay, or did she get mad and say, don't screw with me, dumb butt? It's hard for me to read a cat's emotions. Then the cat slowly stood up. As if she hadn't paid any attention to us at all, she suddenly turned her head away, then calmly walked off somewhere.
聞くといいね。おまじない。
I hope it works. Amu Jinai. What does that mean? I'm crazy. Okay, I hope it works. I'm crazy. So left and right, right? Yui smiled as she watched the ninja's cat tail wiggle back and forth. Left and right. And the rest is history. With a 100 yen jewel chocolate bonus. And a piece of paper as good as thrown away. I don't think there's any benefit to it no matter how it turns out.
確かにそうかもね。
Yeah, I guess so. In the center of the schoolyard was a whirlwind, and a golden dust cloud was flying through the air. Is that symbolic of
と
something?
もちゃんもこれでバッチリだね。
We're all set now, Tomo-chan? On the way to the station, Yue said that and tapped the trash can in my pocket. Or just the trash can that you were holding. How do you say that?
多分大丈夫だと思うけど、英語の教科書も取ってこれたしね。
I think I'll probably be fine too, but I was able to get an English textbook too. What's the geography of third period?
チリあれはもう完璧だよ。
Geography? That thing's already perfect. Huh? It's a lot of confidence.
だってあれって1学期に配られたプリントさえ暗記してればいいんだもん。楽勝楽勝。
I mean, all you have to do is memorize the printouts that were handed out during the first semester. Easy peasy. Instead of tying them around the cat's collar. Printo. I had a really bad feeling about this. I repeated those words once more and tried to reconsider. I just need to memorize the printouts. A printout?
プリント。ゆえはもう全部丸暗記しちゃったもんね。
Yeah, printo. Yue-san already memorized everything. Cho, 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 to, o, tanma. Is this... Hey, time. Wait up. I stood halfway up the hill and lowered the trash can I held in front of me onto the road. Question. Of course, my objective was... I don't need to tell you. Yui smiled and said,
だってもう必要ないから捨てちゃったもん。
'Cause I don't need it anymore. I threw it away. I called Sheen. The only answer I could hear is the obvious one. And 5 hours later, we were still searching for the cat. To be more precise, I was looking for the print tied to its neck.
ねえ、もういい加減諦めようよ。
Hey, let's just give up already. Yada.
だから、ゆえが暗記したのを全部教えてあげるってば。
Like I said, I'll teach you everything Yui learned by heart. idiot. Now that we've come this far, that's not the problem anymore. This is the battle of pride between the ninja cat and me.
それって勝手にともちゃんが思ってるだけでしょ。向こうは全然そんなこと意識してないと思うよ。
That's just what Tomo-chan thinks, isn't it? I don't think she's conscious of that at all. It just makes me even more mad.
だいたいこんな時間まで外をうろついてるわけないじゃない。絶対もう家に帰ってると思う。
Besides, there's no way he'd be wandering around outside this late at night. I'm sure she's already gone home. She. Hmm?
ああ
Ah. Ow.
ほら見て見てあそこ。あの噴水の向こう側。
Look over there on the other side of that fountain. Beyond the fountain.
猫がいるでしょ。
There's a cat, isn't there? But in a place like that, in Nineko, as soon as I yelled that, I made a mad dash.
ともちゃんダメだよ、急に駆け出しちゃう。
Tomo-chan, you can't just run off like that. It was just as Yue had warned me. It was the wrong cat, obviously. Sensing my presence in an instant, as it closed in on me with incredible force, the cat kicked off the ground with the speed of a bullet and ran. Hey, wait up! Put all my stamina I've been saving up on a daily basis into action and followed after the fleeing cat, using every ounce of energy in my body.
待ってよ、ともちゃん。
This is wait, Tomo-chan. Running up, down the hill. I sprinted through the station. I ran through the shopping district. Is that a new background, though? Is this a new background? I think it is. And finally cornered her this far. The cat stopped and turned around, smiling fearlessly and licking her lips. You're pretty good, boy. It was as if she was saying something like that. For the first time, I was able to read the cat's will. I glared at the cat without moving a single step. I can't do anything wrong. In the same way, she seemed to be trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Eventually, out of the corner of my eye, I spot a shadow slowly approaching the cat. An old lady. The top and bottom were cream-colored suits with a single wrinkle. Without a single wrinkle. She was wearing a cream-colored suit without a single wrinkle. And her feet were carefully polished, refined. Pompous and pompous. She wore a short pearl necklace and a matching prone shone on her chest. Brooch shone. Brooch, a matching brooch on her chest. Pure white gloves with smooth luster. Her left hand was holding a pure white sun. Rustle adorned with a bird's stinger. Pure white sunflower decorated with bird embroidery. Huh? Who is this? Seeing an opening in my averted gaze, the nymphomaniac leapt into the old woman's chest. You mean the ninja cat, the nin cat. The old woman immediately let go of the umbrella. Okay, so it wasn't a sunflower. Kasa. Oh, Nama. Kasa and, Hana got mixed up somehow. I don't know. Oh my. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you quite a while, you know. There. The sun rustled in the wind as it spun and rolled in my direction. You mean the sun? You mean her, like, clothes. As if bouncing up and down. Like a cat running over to its owner. I crouched down and picked up the rustle from the day when it arrived at my feet. I gripped the hilt with my right hand and placed my left hand on the open frame. Kasa. Kasa omi. Okay, so he's holding the umbrella. It's a dazzling white umbrella.
雨降らないかな。
Triggers a flashback. Won't it rain? Rain, won't it? Putting her hand on the window frame, Ayaka was looking outside. Wonder if it'll rain. Wait, it's already raining, isn't it? I stood next to Ayaka and looked outside in the same position as her. A light rain was falling quietly.
こんなんじゃなくてもっとすごいやつ。
No, it's not like this. It's something even more amazing.
空は昼っていうのが嘘みたいなぐらいに真っ暗で、ダーってアスファルトを叩く音が教室中に充満しちゃうほど激しい雨。
The sky is so dark that it feels like it's a lie to say it's noon. It's raining so hard that the sound of slapping asphalt fills the entire classroom, or the whole room.
細かい霧の粒子みたいのが空気中にしっとりと漂ってて、それを吸い込むたびに胸が押しつぶされそうになるぐらい悲しくなっちゃうやつ。
The one that looks like a crude child of fine mist floating in the air, and every time I inhale it, it makes me so sad that my chest feels like it's being crushed. はあ?
そういう雨にこそふさわしい傘をね、この前買ったの。
The other day, I bought an umbrella suitable for that kind of rain.
だからこんな風にしとしとと降るようなんじゃダメなの。もっと豪快なやつじゃないとあの傘は使えないから。
That's why I can't let it rain like this. I can't use that umbrella unless it's something more hardy. You can't let it rain, or you have what? I see. In other words, this is what it means to wait patiently for your turn until your favorite umbrella is properly arranged, right?
あ、友也にしては珍しくなかなか的確なこと言うね。
I don't get if it's raining too hard or not hard enough, though. It's rare for you to say something so accurate, Tomoya. Basically, it's like 1,000 yen bill to me. It takes a lot of courage to buy 10 yen gum from that. It takes a lot of courage to buy a 10 yen gum with a 900 yen bill. Yes, I'm the kind of person who does things like buy things that are $6 with the 50.
ちょっと違う気がするけど。
I don't think that's it. So, what kind of umbrella is it? If you say it like that, it must have some unusual characteristics, right?
普通の傘だよ。柄のところが木でできてて、雨を避けるところには布が貼ってあって。
Huh? It's a normal umbrella. The handle's made of wood, and there's a cloth covering the area to avoid the rain. What color is it?
白。
White. White?
眩しいくらいに白い傘。
A dazzling white umbrella. White umbrella? Is it ka? Shiroi kasa ka? Which means a white umbrella? For some reason, I could vividly picture Ayaka standing there with a pure white umbrella over her shoulder in the torrential rain. I hate the way she looked so much. Or I hated the way she looked so much. Why? Is it like sarcasm in some way? Why do you hate that? Even though rain doesn't suit Ayaka.
てるてる坊主を逆さに吊るすといいって、あれ本当かな？
It is true that you should hang the shy boy upside down. Then the word again, just dump the words out of him with gravity. It's good to hang something upside down. What is that? Saw. I answer half-heartedly. I don't get that expression. Oh, just to me, it will always be. Is it good to hang the shy boy upside down? I'm sure it won't rain. It's fine, as long as it doesn't rain. For some reason, that's what I thought. Oh, that's ominous. So it wasn't raining hard enough then. But some of those lines when I front them to the machine translators made it sound like it was raining too hard. Like, the sky is dark. It's like hard to imagine it. It's like a lie to say it's noon, right? That suggests it's raining. I don't know. I don't get it. That didn't come through the translator very well. I return the sun to the umbrella, the kasa, to the old woman. Sorry about that. Was it, do ma sumimasen? Yes. The old woman bent her eyes into a gentle shape as she expressed her gratitude. However, that was only the cat. The chat messed up and turned into goods. In those shining hidden eyes, the color of exclusion and rejection was seeping into them, probably from them, is more accurate, and they looked faint and frosty. When she took it, she casually took a handkerchief out of her waist pocket and put it on the hilt of this umbrella. What's the big deal, huh? Where you gotta wipe off your hands with your cooties, your high school kid cooties. About the paper on that cat's collar. I feign composure. like an adult. In the other arm of the old woman, the cat was looking away with a familiar face. The old woman looked down at its neck. What is this? And this time, she was clearly disgusted. Still, it's just a little wild prank. I wonder if something like this will stick to you because of that. I wonder if something like this would stick together like that, is her question. Is her quandary. It wasn't the weather geography print that she'd picked up when she'd said this stuff. It was the Jewel chocolate bonus. If you don't mind, could you give it back to me? I'm not good at speaking politely. Even though I knew it was in my head, I couldn't use it well. As if mocking her, or me, the old woman averted her gaze for a moment. What's the big deal? Imo yamimo. Yanimo. She probably wanted to continue afterwards, saying, "It would be a bother to me if you were able to do it." That's not right, but I don't have hope for making those kind of things correct, so I'm going to keep going. Then she definitely used only one hand to remove the cat's collar. Dozo, which is like please, please. The other woman pinched the collar with the tips of her index finger and thumb fingernails and holds it out in front of my chest. I'm fine with just that paper and the ring. Yay. He's like, no. I'll never be able to use that trash again anyway, so it's fine. That's probably what she's talking about. The woman lets go of her finger and drops the collar in my palm. Well, if you'll excuse me. Before she could finish her sentence, the old woman began walking briskly. We were the ones who were able to take care of the unknown without permission, so maybe I should have apologized to you instead. We were the ones who saw something strange without her permission. Maybe I should have honestly apologized here. Basically, they did something strange to some cat without the cat owner's permission. For some reason, I just can't bring myself to feel that way. You got that eat the rich kind of attitude. Something like a small lump remained on my chest. Nineko peeked out from behind the departed woman's shoulder. Nya. She squealed sadly twice. I can hear her now, as if she's lamenting her separation from an old friend. That cry slowly dispelled the stiffness that had settled over me.
Tomo-chan! なんで置いてくのよ。
Tomo-chan, you are so stubborn. And the print probably wasn't the right print anyway, right? When Yue finally caught up to me, her shoulders greatly heaved. Baka! I was chasing. Can you wait for me? Or something like that.
違うよ。これ、これのことだってば。
I'm moving. This. Saying that, Yue lowered the filthy trash can she was carrying to the ground with a thud. Poo-poo. I burst out laughing. Just imagine Yue stomping through the shopping district overflowing with shoppers at dusk with the trash can on her back and scurrying forward with a thud. I think it was very funny.
ああ、笑い事じゃないよ、もう。
This is no laughing matter. Mo. Now, what's the big deal? I was able to return both the printout and the ring like this. She spread out her palms. I spread out my palm and showed them to Yue. There was a wrinkled printout and a toy ring. Up until a moment ago, she thought the ring was nothing more than a meager piece of junk. But now, it felt strangely precious. As a matter of fact, there was a burning red of the setting sun trapped inside the cloudy stone, giving off a glow unlike anything I had ever seen before. Just thinking about it, if that's how it's going to be, there's no one's going to have a hard time, Yue said. That might be true. Something about the preciousness. But there are things in this world that even if you don't, you'll be right. If you change your perspective a little, you can discover the true value of something buried inside you. There you go. This radiance was exactly what it was.
本当だ。でも、指輪は奪還できない方が良かったんだけど、それじゃ結局、縁が溶けちゃったってことじゃない？
You're right, but it would have been better if we didn't get the ring back. Doesn't that mean that basically you don't get the fortune thing, right? But if I do this... Oh no, he's not going to try to put it on. In this book, I picked up Yue's slender pinky finger and put the toy ring on it. Okay, it's the pinky. It's fine. If we do this, it'll mean... that the rope ate it? The rope has been eaten, right? You mean the knot has been tied? I don't know what rope has been eaten means. Some sort of kanji mess up, probably. Yes. Both kanji are messed up. Well, in the case of Yue's smile, it might not have anything to do with it since... Or not really to smile. Fortune, since there's no connection between them before they came back. Oh, what is that? That got messed up too, but let's see what Google Translate has to say. In Yue's case, she doesn't have any connections before she returned, so it might not be related at all. That's better, but still doesn't make sense.
ひどい。ふんだ、もう知らない。
That's awful. I don't know anymore. So he's like sulking. Yue smiles as Yue slowly walks towards the sunset, feeling depressed. Behind her stretched a long shadow, which was cool. Yue, the exit is that way, you know. Then Yue turns around.
知ってる。
I know. She puffs out her cheeks and walks over this time. Yo! I pick up the trash can and start walking toward the station before Yue gets here. Sure enough, the sight of me dashing through a huge trash can on the train home was the center of attention. I guess carrying a huge trash can. Being exposed to the curious stares of the masses on my own was a little sheepish, so I forced myself to talk to Yue-san to show her that I had the right person. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Hey, this means it's really going to happen, isn't it? Exams, midterms, no, seriously, there's a lot of textbooks in here, isn't there? But Yue smiled the whole time, pretending to be someone else and just silently reading English textbooks. Naturally, a picture of a male student muttering to himself while messing with the schoolgirl while holding a trash can was the only thing anyone else could see. Even though it was late autumn, my back was damp with sweat. I made it in time for the show I wanted to watch. Pochitona. I'll be absorbed in the TV for a while. Now then, I wasted 9 hours. Well, it should be within the margin of error. Oh, so it's just 6:30 p.m. Okay. If I keep doing it right now, I'll be able to study for more than 12 hours. I've got time to spare. So, let's take a nap. Wakes up in the morning. There's also a saying that Saikuruko will grow up. Something about a nap, right? A heroine child will grow up. Okay. I was already in a dreamy state, thinking about incomprehensible things. I sank into the depths of an endless sleep, deeper than the Mariana Trench. And, oops. Oh, is this another Ayaka thing? This looks like the sun is setting in the west, and soon the setting sun will be shining red all around us. We were riding on the Ferris wheel as we circled the amusement park. We had a lot of fun today. Especially that free fall. If you put Yue on it, I think she'll cry loudly, right?
そうだね。
You're right. A nonchalant reply. What's wrong? Her sudden change of attitude worried me a little. Suddenly, Ayaka turned around. Let's not talk about Yue. Let's talk about us. I couldn't help but feel sad seeing her from behind.
ねえ、智也。
Isn't it, Tomoya? Or, okay. I see her expression when she turns around. I can see her expression when she turns around. Her face looking unusually serious. Nandayo? Which is like, yeah, what? Really what? Ayaka's heart skipped a beat for a moment, and I was a little confused by her attitude.
なんでもない。
It's nothing. Question? Still acting suggestive, Ayaka smiled as if nothing had happened. You can't pull me this far, can you?
ごめんね。先に帰っててくれないかな。ちょっと用事思い出しちゃったから。
I'm sorry, could you go home first? I just remember something I need to do. As if remembering something, she suddenly says something like that. I didn't understand anything at this point. It's good, but what's wrong? Ayaka's acting a little weird today.
本当に何でもないんだってば。あ、ごめんね、心配かけて。それじゃ、また明日ね。
It's really nothing. Sorry for making you worry. See you tomorrow then. Is it terminal? When she says that she wants to say, she runs off without waiting for my reply. Seeing Ayaka like that, I sensed the unease welling up inside me, so I followed her. Yeah, terminal disease. That's on the bingo card. I think. If it isn't, it should be. Did Ayaka want to say something to me? Maybe we've reached an unexpected situation. Maybe it was because I felt that way. If I don't go after Ayaka now, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. For some reason, I had a feeling that was the case. Whoops. I need to translate on that. Before I knew it, my pace had changed to that of a runner. I have to find her. I have to tell her. I don't understand what she's trying to say. It's probably something that only comes out when faced with the situation. I didn't want to be too late. All I could do is run with the pure desire to find Ayaka in my heart. Oops. She's not here. All that's left is the park. I made my way to a fairly sparsely populated park. Koe in his park. If I hadn't been here... That unease crossed my mind as I searched for her. Shikashi, which it is... But, oh. Ita. Ow. After searching the area for about 10 minutes, I found Ayaka gaping near the fountain. Gaping? I feel an indescribable sense of unease from my sister. Ane. Older sister. That's a wrong kanji. So, my cursor, can you see it in here? This one is wrong. No. No, that's correct. What am I trying to do here? Maybe it's just using Ane to describe her. I didn't think she was her. I thought they were all friends. I didn't think that. I had no impression whatsoever that Ayaka was a sister. Ayaka? Realizing she'd been called, Ayaka slowly turned her face towards me.
Tomoya?
Tomoya? Haha, I've been looking for you. Those words finally came out, feeling like my shoulders were about to give out. Ayaka's expression seemed to say, why? I thought that Ayaka might go away somewhere. That's what I thought. That's why. It's not like that, but I just casually collapse onto Ayaka.
Tomoya!
Tomoya? There was nothing to move from there, and Ayaka was holding me tight. Ayaka, I might have to have Ayaka by my side. Let's see here. I might not be able to do anything without Ayaka by my side. That's right, that's exactly what I wanted to say. The honest feelings I was able to say because I faced them. Actually, everything was unsettling. But he didn't actually do this, did he? This is just his fantasy of like what he thought he should have done. You would think. This is how this reads. It doesn't read like it's real. The reality that Ayaka, who had always been by my side since I was little, would disappear from my sight made me feel hopeless. I want to be closer than anyone. This feeling I had for Ayaka was something I couldn't let anyone else have. I want to be with you forever. Because she's the only one who can be called, and then what she's supposed to be called got messed up. OCR. I don't know if I can recover it. But it's something to do with woman. That's right, I'll add it later. The sensation of Ayaka hugging me also, and from her flowing hair, citrusy scent wafted up my nose. I can't believe this is calming me down. That's what I thought I had just experienced with my own hands.
私も一緒にいたいよ。
I also want to be with you. Okay. Hide. There it is by itself. I took a good look at Ayaka's face as she murmured to herself. Ayaka's face was tearing up.
私もずっと好きだったんだよ。でも智也なかなか言ってくれないし。智也は私のこと嫌いなのかなって思うとすごく苦しくて。
I always loved you too, but Tomoya doesn't say it very often. It hurts so much to think that he hates me. Huh.
最初はね、気づかなかったんだ。智也のこと きだってこと。
At first, I didn't realize that I like you, Tomoya.
あの時のこと覚えてる？私が巾着袋なくした時のこと。
Do you remember when I lost the cloth bag? Yeah, I remember.
智也が一生懸命探してくれたんだったよね。
Tomoya did his best to find it, didn't he?
暗くなってさ、お母さんたちが帰りなさいって言っても探すのやめなくて。
It got dark, and then when Mom and the others told me to go home, you didn't stop searching.
実はね、あの巾着にね、智也の写真が入ってたんだ。私だけの秘密のやつ。
Actually, there was a photo of Tomoya in that pouch. It was my secret.
その時ね、私気づいたんだ。智也のことがすっごく好きだってことに。
That's when I realized that I really liked Tomoya.
なんでそれまで気づかなかったんだろうね。
Why didn't I notice until then? Tears flowed from Ayaka's big eyes, dripping down her cheeks. She was the same as me. It was too late to notice. No, maybe I didn't. Can't be too late. Before I knew it, our relationship as childhood friends had become a wall. I guess it's an expression that works. You mean it fell out? I wiped the tears running down Ayaka's soft cheeks with my thumb. Then she brought her face close to mine. We got to fade to white. A kiss that's still too clumsy to touch in an instant. Ayaka. I love you. So, okay, so that's what that means. So, several lines ago, there was something that showed up, and it was associated to something else. It means love, right? So, something was loved. Something was, but I don't remember what is this far back. But once again, this time she spoke clearly.
もう待ちくたびれちゃうところだったんだから。
I was about to get tired of waiting. Her face turns bright red as if she's embarrassed. Ah ha 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 ha. For some reason, I couldn't help but laugh. It's like a thread was snapped in my heart. Now, did this actually happen or not? Is this actually canon? So figured that out. Drawn in by me, Ayaka started laughing too. Don't people think we're a weird couple from the start? But that has nothing to do with it. We finally got our hands on the greatest moment of our lives. And then he wakes up in the morning and he's like, oh no, I have to go to school right now.
待ってよ
with that, I think I'm going to quit. So I have to sleep, you know. So let's save the game by hitting this button. And then save in this slot. Get out of the save menu. Go down to exit. Yes, I want to exit. Then now I'll review. So, memories, album. So start with Ayaka's. This one here. We don't need this stuff up for this. Okay, you're that. Okay. Is I probably from Pure, because I accidentally went into Pure and couldn't figure out how to get out, and that nonsense that happened on the first episode. That's probably where this is. We're at the amusement park, which oddly occurs chronologically later in the next one. Sharing the textbook, which is the first one you get ever in the main game. The rain. And the umbrella. The white umbrella thing. The kiss scene. In the park. Okay, so that's... But then it keeps going. Oops. So we have 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 for the main game. 1 was probably from Pure. So 4, but we have 6 to go. Okay, UA. The annoying train situation with the annoying train noise. Spooky, scary skeleton scare. Missed one, probably because we missed a scene because we went on a scene with someone else. The cat. And this from a flashback, which for some reason is at the end. I don't know why. But she has a lot more than Ayaka does. Yeah. Shion. But then we have ones we skipped, which probably means that there are some decisions that I could go to the library to study or something. In between, that would help me get into, say, Shion's route and do things with Shion that I just missed. So I have to go back and do Shion's stuff later. So I'll probably miss even more, most of her. This might be the last one we get. It's relatively fused, like much fewer than UA. Still, okay, not very many Karu CGs. We have her at the fence, standing in front of the fence on the roof, and when she's first introduced. Okay, continuous set of Minamo. When you first meet her at the station, studying ancient texts, her looking at an art book, which has a lot. Okay, that's interesting. When you first meet her, adding up receipts, and then the non-categorical, which I have none of. Okay. Still 0 endings out of 11. 52 scenes out of 153. About a third of the way down there. 28 out of 167 CGs. So 50, about a sixth of the, less than a sixth of the way done there. Background music's none of them, because I have the background music off. But I've gone through story material that would have contained 17 out of 22, I guess. None of the endings, of course. So, continuous up to 15. Got the introductions to Koyomi, to Shion, and Kaoru. Missed some. Buriho is one of the scene titles. Okay. Missed 23, missed 26 and 27. Got Minamo's introduction. You can miss entirely if you don't make the right choice to get it. Miss 33. What's the Katakana word? Intami shown. Oh, intermission. 5 minutes. Miss 39, Miss 41, Miss 52, Miss 56, 57, 58, but got 59. Miss 60, 61, 62, 63, but got 60, got 64 and 65. Missed a whole bunch of there from 66 to 73, but got 74 and 75. So we got to 75. Now, Memories, I think, is probably the first scene of Pure, because I accidentally went to Pure. So it's 145 is probably from the main game. So that's 75 out of 145, which is a little bit more than halfway through the chronologically. Now, I presume that as you get later in the game, it gets to become more character differentiated, which means you start skipping more and more scenes. So I'm probably more than halfway through getting through the first round chronologically. It's more scene dense. You get not even more scene dense. You get more scenes on the list as you go earlier in the game, right? When you're on the trunk. If you get off the trunk, then they get more sparse. Okay. Well, there you go.